time to put in practice what we've learned with the sphere, cube, and cylinder. Well, let's start with the sphere, with this beautiful eye that we're going to do today. You see? Look at the sphere, the eye itself. Okay. Now, before we do the eye, before we do that round bit, we can get all that line, all that shape. Look at that. It's like a wave. Or they call it the almond shape. Okay, there we are. A wave. Or the almond shape. Now, look how I'm keeping the pencil, or I'm applying the pencil. It's not pointing it to the paper, because by doing that, I can do very strong lines. But if I keep the pencil like this, now, by the way, that's a Conte à Paris. Conte à Paris. This particular one, Pierre Noir, France, 1710. Now, you don't have to get this or to have that. Any pencil will do. Now, I mean, that's not a Conte, that's a graphite. See the difference? That's a graphite, this one on the right, and this one on the left is charcoal, pressed charcoal. So I could do it with this, but it's got a very, very weak mark. So I'm using the Conte. So the almond shape, as I said, first of all, the almond shape. Tear duct, and then the rest, the lower part of the almond shape. And then my pencil, as I said, I'm keeping it sideways. The almond shape. Now, above the almond shape, you have this one, which is the it's the part between the eyelid and the bone structure we have there. Now here they do meet. At this point they do go right here. They do meet. So these two lines, they meet at this point, you see, at this point here. So this is the point that I'm emphasizing here. There you are. And then what do we have? Then we have the sphere, we have the eye. We have this. So the sphere. Oh, by the way, no, I've just noticed it. You see, the sphere doesn't go right up to the eyelid. You see that? Not up here. Not at the end of the eyelid. There is another part of the eyelid which is there, which is this one here. It's the inner part of the eyelid, and that connects to the tear duct. So the sphere doesn't go up to that line, not to the second line. It's here on the first line. And then you have the iris. Now guess why I'm doing this? I'm not completing the process of the circular pupil here, because see that shine that you have? That gives the life on the eye. Now before I do anything else, let's leave it there, leave that as it is, and now let's go with the eyebrow, which is above of the whole of the structure. So the eyebrow is here. Something like this. Now those lines, the eyebrow here and this line, they look like they are parallel. Look at that. This line is parallel to the line. They are parallel, and this as well. And the eyelid itself. So 1, 2, and 3, they go parallel to each other. You see? And this moves down this way. It doesn't go right at the eyelid. There's a distance there. Okay? And then you have the eyebrow, which moves. So what I'm doing now, emphasizing this one. See, the eyebrow moves that way, moves there. So it's moving there, and then it just moves off the eye, off the tear duct. So the tear duct is here, and the eyebrow goes there. See, if I draw a vertical line here, the eyebrow moves above the valley. So if I draw a vertical line here, the eyebrow goes there. Okay, now shading. Give it a dark, a little bit of a dark here. Which is this part? Look at that. It's this part. And that shading moves there. So the shading moves towards the inner part of the eye. There you go. Notice how I'm keeping the pencil. Look, my hand goes like this. So I'm doing this. That's what I'm doing. Okay. There you are. And then this eyelid creates a shadow onto the white of the eye, as we call it. So there we are, a shadow of the eyelid, and then the tear duct. Tear duct just ends up here. Okay. So the shadow of the eyelid, it's a little bit like the cap on the hat. So I've got a hat here. Hat. This is the face of the person. Eyes, nose. Head. And that's the cap of the hat. Now the cap creates a shadow onto the person's face. That's why we have hats. Well, me anyway. For shading. So if the light comes this way, let's create a shadow onto our eyes. Is to not have the sun in front of us. I'm off topic now, but it's an illustration for what we do here. It's giving a little bit of credit, making a bit of a handsome man here. Oh, it's not handsome. Doesn't matter. So you see that hat creates a shadow of the man's face. That's the whole point. Now, same here. You don't have to draw this man, by the way. Okay, so that eyelid creates a shadow. That's above the eye. So here we are. Pupil. She's got a clear eye, which is... Now, how do I know it's a she? Obviously, it's such a pretty eye. Look at this plucked eyebrow. So she's a she. Okay, now, and the eye is clear, which is, you see, there's no dark here. That means that creates the impression of a blue eye or light green eye. So you see, if you do it clear and you don't put too much pressure onto that side, put pressure here. Look at that. Look what's going to happen here now. There you have it. Now oh, sorry, I have done it without thinking. Oh, you see those lines here? This is the eyebrow. The dark lines of the eyebrow. There we are. And if I emphasize that line here, look at that. See, there is a half tone here. It's the half tone that we've used on the cube, on the sphere. There you are. There we are. Okay. And a little bit of shadow here. And the shadow, see a little bit of shadow underneath the eye. There you are. Tiny bit of shadow coming down. But look at the phenomenon here. See, the white of the eye is actually not white. It's brighter here. It's brighter. Now why? Because the light comes this way. So the light on us, on this side, comes from this side. Now how do I know? I know it because this part is light and this part is light. So I have the light coming from the left here. And as the light is coming from this side, and I have the eyelid here, that means that the eyelid creates a shadow onto the white of the eye. There you are. Okay. Now, stump. Where is the stump? The stump is here. Okay. With the stump, that's a stump. You buy the W.H. Smiths, as I've mentioned earlier on, or you can order it from Amazon. Or now, if you don't have stump, bit tough. But if you don't have stump, you can use brushes if you have one. Let me show you this. See, that will do the job. See what I'm doing now? I'm helping out and I'm spreading those darks here. But let's do it with stump, because the stump, what the stump does is that it's very precise here. So that point, look now, I will emphasize these points here. 1, 2, and the eyebrows. Dark here. Do you remember the eyelid on the inside? There we are. Tear duct. Eyelid. And sideways I can utilize the stump to make softer shadows like this. Look. See? There you go. Softer shadows. And softer shadows here. And I can create actually, see, voluminous eye. By highlighting this or coming with some darks here, I can create a voluminous eye. All right. And keep that light, because this creates a shine on the eye. And emphasize this a bit more. Those lines here. Come with darks. And culminating, ending up at the tear duct. And the eye itself. Look at that. There we are. Keeping that shine here, and then with the stump darkening this here, and then you see I'm actually making the shadow a bit softer onto the white of the eye, and you will see that the white of the eye doesn't have to be as white as that, as I said, because it's subject to the shadow of the eyelid. Okay, now merging those together and then bringing the lower eyelid. Look Look at that. Okay. I guess I've darkened the eye, the white of the eye a little bit more. So I can go and soften that here. So let's, with stump, look, you can come back and brighten that a bit more. But not much, just a tiny bit more. There you go, white of the eye. And give that a little bit of a line here, which suggests, you see that area here is the shadow of the eyelid onto, see the cast shadow of the eyelid. As I said, is the cast shadow of the man's hat onto his face. See? There you are. That's his face, and that's the shadow that the heart is leaving onto his face. That suggests if the shadow is that strong or that dark, that means that he's in direct sunlight. Okay, he's very bony. Okay, so see, that's the shadow, cast shadow. So you see, he's got the very light skin, but that creates him, bone structure here, that creates him, a shadow on his face. Okay, let's give him a little bit of a shine on his nose here. Sorry again, I'm off topic again, but it's just to illustrate the point, or to make the point really. Now, what I forgot to do is this one here. You see? The lower eyelid. Yes, let's do that. There you go. The lower eyelid. Okay. Now what is left for me to do is to do some, look at that. Here. Just a suggestion. You see, you don't have to go with lines because they're not, see, they're not, well, there are a few eyelashes there. Well, let's do that here. There. Actually, let's do them with the contact. With a contemporary, with a pencil. Again, you don't have to do them. Don't do too many. Don't be distracted by them because it will look a little bit very descriptive. So it will spoil the reality of it. Will make it a little bit artificial. So let's do that. So let's lose some of them. I've done a lot more than I needed to. Okay. See, that's the cast shadow of the hat, of the eyelid, eyelashes onto the eye. Tear duct. Now, tear duct is not at the same level. It's slightly lower than the end of the eye. So that's a horizontal line here. I'm keeping the stump horizontal. And you see, from one point on the other side, is slightly lower. So the eyelid is slightly lower than the eye. So the tear duct is lower than that line here. There you are. And make her a little bit of a fuller eyelash. Okay. All right, everyone. maybe I'm going a bit too dark on the shadow here. Possibly. So let's clear that up a little bit. Brighten up that part. And brighten up this one. You can make the eyelashes, sorry, the eyebrow a little bit higher. Make her, maybe she's a little bit surprised. And when people are surprised, the eyelash goes up. Sorry, the eyebrow moves up a bit. So there you are. You can do a different expression on her. See, you can do a different, slightly higher, the eyelash. Get rid of that. There we are. Okay, and a little bit of highlights inside. So always bring some light onto the eyebrow. Don't keep it too intensely dark. All right. Okay. Now these are cosmetics now that I'm doing. If you want to do a really pretty eye, you can go on a little bit longer. Now look what I can do. I can emphasize this light a little bit more here. I'm not shouting because it's really late. And this is when everybody goes to sleep, so I can do quiet videos. Look at it. See? Just highlighting that on the eyelid. All right. Okay, a bit more cosmetic here. And you can emphasize that here a bit more if you want. The eyelash. Okay, everyone. See you in the next one. What's the date today? The date is, I think it's something the 7/7. Yes. 7. See you on the next one.